So we're going to get started by lying down onto our backs with our legs up onto a chair or an ottoman or something else that is similar. And you can choose again the height of how high you want your legs up. You can also choose if you'd like to have a propping underneath your head, whether that be a folded blanket or towel, especially if you feel like there's an overarching in your neck or just an overwhelmness in your mind. That added propping behind the back of your head can be really nice. And then let's pause here, letting ourselves ground into our body. You scooch as close as you can to that propping, and then let your legs soften. You might even walk the legs closer in, and then relax the muscles. If the knees splay apart, that's totally fine. And then your arms can either rest down by your sides, or you can bend at the elbows and place your hands somewhere on your belly. Just try not to interlace the fingers if you can, having them overlap or slightly apart. And then let yourself breathe in fully. And let it all go just as easily. One more, just like that. Inhale. And letting it all go. Good. Let your breath now fall back into its own rhythm. We'll begin to move the body starting at the base of our spine. So bring both knees in towards your chest, one at a time. Hold your knees together side by side. And then take your hands, wrap it around just your left knee, and set your right leg back down onto the chair right where it was before. With your hands wrapped around your left knee, push that knee away from your chest until your arms come to a straight or straight-ish position. Your left foot can find that propping of the chair. And then you're in this position where your spine is the center lane and your left leg is in the left lane. So it's in line with the same side of your cheekbone. Your arms are straight. You have a good grasp around the knee or the thigh with your hands, not just fingertips, but the whole part of your hand is holding that knee or leg. And then ask your leg to let go, to melt. Your arms are working and holding, so your leg can lean and let go. Just takes a few moments here, letting those gripping muscles at the base of your spine and into your hip to let go, to melt. And then we're going to change the angle here. We're going to take that knee and bring it across so the knee is pointing towards the opposite cheekbone, your right cheekbone. And if there's a gap between your foot and the other leg, you can slide that foot over. Take a breath in. As you exhale, bring that knee in towards your chest a little bit, just a couple inches at this angle. So there's this medial angle here where your knee is lined up with the opposite cheekbone at a diagonal, or towards your nose if you feel like there's a lot of pulling in your hip. Your knee is kind of coming in towards the chest just a little bit until you bump into a place of resistance. Your hands are still in a good firm place around that knee or thigh, and it's holding, and again, it's reminding your leg that it can let go, that it can relax. Fall into this divine angle in your body, and let the asana unfold. Let it do its own magic. You don't have to do anything. You're just letting it naturally evolve. Few more breaths here. And then we're going to guide that knee over to the left a little bit, so the knee is back in line with the same side cheekbone. You can push that knee a little bit away from the chest so your arms go back into that straight position right where we began this journey. And we'll stay here in this Uppanasana, this angle here. Your knee is lined up with your left cheekbone, your left ear. The arms are straight or straight-ish. And the leg becomes heavy. And what happens here is that it's leaning down and deep into your hip socket, massaging and leaning into tight muscles. Just by you simply letting go with that leg. Few more breaths. And then you'll guide that knee all the way in towards your chest. Hold both knees together, bringing them towards your chest, holding them side by side. Pause. Feel the difference perhaps from your right hip and your left hip, your right shoulder and your left shoulder, maybe even your right face versus your left face. All the subtle shifts and changes. And then we'll take our way to the other side, wrapping your hands around your right knee. Take your left leg and set it down. And then with your hands wrapped around the right leg, push that leg away from your chest until your arms are straight or straight-ish. That knee is in line with the same side cheekbone. So if your spine is the center lane, your leg is in the right lane. Let's pause here, giving this reminder so the leg can soften first. And then we'll start to move and shift the angle into our sacrum. So you're going to take your knee and coax it in a little bit towards the left until your knee is angled to the opposite cheekbone. So it's at a diagonal here. If there is a gap between your right foot and the other leg, just slide that foot over. Then breathe in. Then use the exhale to guide that knee a little bit towards your chest at this angle here, and pause when you bump into a little bit of resistance. It's nothing too extreme. You're just bending the elbows somewhat. And then you'll stay here. If you feel any pulling or any uncomfortable sensation within your hip, then point your knee towards your nose instead of the opposite cheekbone. Lessen the degree so you can stay within the sweetness, so your body can melt. We're here for a few moments, hydrating and opening the pelvis. There's this spiraling action here happening deep at the subtle level, but also at the physical level. Your hip bone is spiraling in and through your hip socket. And then we're shifting the angle back to where we started by bringing and guiding the knee to the right a little bit until it's in line with the same side cheekbone. Push that knee a little bit away from the chest until your arms are back in that straight position. Good grasp around that knee. Make sure it's not just fingertips. Your whole hand is holding it. That way your leg knows that it's supported. And when it knows it can support it, then it'll let go even more. So again, that knee is in line with the same side cheekbone. It is directly angling down into the ground and in towards your hip. Your arms are supported, but can your shoulders and your chest relax? Mm. And then same thing, take your time. You're gonna bring that knee all the way in towards your chest. Bring your other leg in and up as well. Hold both legs side by side. And then taking your time, you're going to move and shift your weight to one side, curling up in a fetal position. Doesn't matter what side you start with. Maybe you have it adjusted to where you can see me. And then you're in that curled up kind of position to begin with. We're going to find a way into this twist. So you're going to bring your top leg, bring it in towards your chest a little bit more. Extend your bottom leg down and away and have a micro bend in that extended leg. It's not completely locked out or straight. And then getting your top leg, the knee that's bent, all the way onto the ground. Make sure your shin bone and your foot is on the ground. It's not stacking or slightly off kiltered. And then your top arm can start to bend. Place your hand on your hip and then roll back. You might have some propping nearby if you'd like to. You can add some propping behind you, whether it be a bolster, a block, a stack of blankets that your elbow can rest on. We're keeping our hand on the hip, keeping the elbow bent, working into the twist really through our rib cage and our heart. And then our head is relaxed, which means that your chin might be tucked in towards your shoulder, towards your bent knee. And you're softening here. Again, if you feel any pulling in your shoulder joint, add propping behind you. If you feel like your knee is lifting off the ground, add even more propping behind you. Enjoying this spiral. Again, letting this enfoldment of the asana really leave its imprint by you letting go, letting the asana unfurl the nectar. One or two more breaths. And then to come out, just curl back up onto your side in that fetal position, bend both knees, take your shoulder out of the twist, give yourself a break, breathing in, letting it all go. And then we'll twist the other way. So you're gonna roll through center. You can flip over to the other side. You can adjust however you'd like. If you need to see me, you can turn your body. And we're gonna do the same thing. So bring your top leg, bring it in towards your chest. Take your bottom leg, straighten it out somewhat. Have a micro bend in that knee though. And then your bottom or the top leg, get it all the way to the ground. Nice. Bring your top arm, bend the elbow, place your hand onto your hip, and then start to roll it back, working into really the rib cage, twisting. The lower spine stays neutral with that knee on the ground, which then filters the attention more into the upper spine, getting some mobility here. Your head is relaxed, which means that your chin might be tucking in a little bit towards the shoulder or kind of pointing towards the bent knee. That's perfect. If you'd like, you can always add propping behind you so your elbow can rest on it, whether that be a stack of blocks or bolsters. Giving yourself a few moments. Feeling this unraveling of tension that spirals around your spine. We call these sacred spots through the spine, these granthis, these knots of tension that naturally accumulates over time. And we are starting to slowly reach into those knots, untangling them by slowing down, by finding some rest, and by angling our body in these sacred movements. One or two more breaths here. And then you'll come out of that twist, bringing both knees in, curling up on your side. Give yourself a pause here. Full breath in and out. Good. And then you can reorient yourself. If you need to sit up, you can do that. And then we'll work our way to that Shavasana, that lying down position with our legs elevated. So find that comfortable place. Relaxing your legs into that propping, scooching however close you need until you feel like you can settle even more. Choose what position you'd like with your arms. We'll find a pranayama practice here where we break up the inhale into two parts. So we'll inhale a little bit, we'll inhale the rest, and we'll exhale all the way out. But to prepare, take just a full breath as you normally would in, and letting it go. And then together, inhale a little, inhale the rest, and let it all go. We'll do that again. Inhale a little, inhale the rest, exhale it all out. Last time, inhale a little, inhale the rest, all the way out. Let it all go. Breathing normally, letting your body rest. Maybe your eyes even close for just a few moments, soaking in the replenishment, the hydration that we've just planted in the body. Know that these practices are potent, even if it's just for a small bit of time. And it's often said that it's the small little things that you do every day that make the biggest difference, the biggest changes, the biggest momentum. Become deeply established into what it feels like to be soft over and over again. Small bits of softness. And bring your legs in, curl to one side, and press yourself up, bringing yourself up to a seat. Right. You can rub the hands together and then place them over the heart. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Guru Pro Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you.